Well, I think it's exciting. I think anytime that we can advance transit in our town, it's probably a good day. For 5 years, we've had our Wave bus and the associated mobility services that came along with it. And I'd say it's been a success. It's been a relatively modest route that is an hour's route around town, but it gave an opportunity for people that didn't have another option or wanted to use another option, the ability to get where they needed to go. So we're really looking towards the future. A lot of work has gone into the plan, comment received from the public. And, I'm happy to say that if we pass this plan, that transit will continue to grow in Bracebridge and hopefully serve people on an even faster schedule and allow people to get where they need to go and do what they need to do.
Is there, I'm sure this is part of the ask, is there another bus in the conversation here at this point?
I think what we want to do is really see a kind of a doubling up of what we've got and moving towards a more frequent schedule. And the only way to do that is with more equipment, which is expensive, but we need to make investments in the system as time goes on, again, to grow it and make sure that our service is growing with the wants and desires of those that are using it today and those that will hopefully use it in the future.
Just another item catching my attention is the recap of this year's budget and kind of looking through what has come so far in terms of what was put in line. And I'm guessing COVID has played a bit of havoc with it, but what are you hearing so far?
2021 has been another bit of an oddball year in terms of expenses and incomes, but we knew going into 2021 that it was going to be a little bit different. We had the experience of the first 8 or 9 months, or the last 8 or 9 months of 2020, rather, guiding us somewhat. We've received investments from the provincial government in municipal operations as well, which has acted as a buffer to some extra expenses or reduced incomes. So overall, pretty pleased with where we're at. Of course, we've received some good news this year with regard to our Muskoka Lumber Community Center project and getting that off the ground. And as far as the business plan items go, been a tough year for staff, but they're continuing to work through and tick all those boxes and get the jobs done that we asked them to do. And we'll see some more things wrapping up in Q4 this year.
And just while we're talking about budget, is there any word on when we could be seeing conversation about the next budget? Because I know a few towns are looking at that now.
Yeah, well, we provided guidance to staff. They're off kind of doing their thing and getting their budgets together throughout the fall. And in the early new year, we'll be taking a look at what 2022 looks like for the town of Bracebridge.
Before we move on, Graydon, anything else in tonight's council meeting that would stand out to you that would be important to the community?
I think, every item is important from my perspective. Some of them are just more local than others, but we had taken our traditional summer break for a few weeks. So it's good to be back and good to be making some decisions again. Again, the transit plan, I think, is really the biggest item that we're dealing with right now. And we'll see some other plans coming up at subsequent meetings in the future that I think will also be fairly impactful as well.
One thing that was announced today, which has had quite a lot of attention in the community, is the eventual removal of the blockade on North Wellington Street, which was part of a traffic calming survey that was being done by the town. Let's talk first of all about that project and I guess what's been brought in so far in terms of information.
Well, I haven't seen any of the data yet, but we've had some electronic devices that are allowing us to capture data. And of course, we've received lots of input from the public and what they think through various means, including social media, much of it negative. I'm certainly willing to call a spade, but you don't know until you try. So the important thing about these pilot projects is they're just that. They're opportunities for us to try some different measures, to see what works, to see how the public reacts, how they don't react potentially. We know there's a vocal contingent of people out there that don't like it. But at the end of the day, did it really achieve what we wanted to achieve, which was to lower the volumes and the speeds within what is a densely populated neighborhood in town that had become very much shortcut? And maybe it did that, and maybe it didn't. So, the devil is always in the details, and the details will be presented to council a little bit later on this fall as part of some more traffic management work that staff is doing.
Not to poke this bear anymore, but I'm just curious if it is something that has shown positive results despite a lot of the negativity that it did receive. Would it something that council look at maybe implementing as a permanent solution in the near future?
I'm not going to say that we wouldn't. If we didn't do things because we heard some negative reaction, then we'd probably do nothing most of the time. So the details that we get and the efficacy of it yet to be determined, but we'll get that data and try and understand it. There may be other solutions. I would say that traffic speed and volume is an issue in multiple parts of our community. And that is not just the urban area, that extends into the rural area as well, as areas continue to grow and there's just been more people around in general. So what is a good solution in one area might not be a good solution in another area, or what we tried in one area may not be deemed to be successful there, but may work in a modified form somewhere else. So again, you don't know until you try. Sometimes you hit a single, sometimes you hit a home run, and sometimes you strike out. So we'll wait and see.
Great. We're moving into an interesting tourism start of the season, which is the fall season, and we have quite a lot of tourism for people wanting to check out Leaves, and some of the amenities are available in Muskoka at this time. What kind of messaging would you like to put out to the community right now, given where we're at in terms of the COVID situation at this point?
Well, I think everyone needs to be careful, and I hope they've been doing that all the way along this summer, although we've certainly seen a lot of people around, and life felt like it was a little bit more normal. We know that there's a fourth wave out there. We know that we're seeing more cases in Simcoe, Muskoka, but more specifically in Muskoka, a couple more today, I think. We don't want what is a blip to become something more. So people need to continue to do the things that they've been doing for the past 18 months, which is be courteous and conscientious of the people that you're around, wear a mask, wash your hands, get vaccinated if you haven't been vaccinated already, and give everyone the very best shot and potential, pardon the pun when I use the word shot, of getting back to what is normal life. But clearly we're not there yet, but we hope that we can achieve some level of normalcy, not see any lockdowns, continue to support our businesses, and have people from outside the community continue to come here and support our businesses. So a little common sense and a bit of good luck should get us there.
And just finally, Graydon, what are we looking forward to for the municipality coming in the fall here? Mostly, actually, I'd like to know what's happening with the multiplex project and where that's moving right now.
Pretty exciting day coming up tomorrow for us. We're going to be opening tenders, and a recommendation will be coming to council shortly on a general contractor. As we've discussed before, we have Fowler, a great local company, on site right now doing work to prepare for that contractor to be on site probably about December, when they can get everything together and get mobilized. So that project continues to move along. We'll hope that the price is right when we open those tender documents, and that we're on budget or very, very close to it. And we'll just continue to work away and look for a 2023 opening. But we've also got some more exciting announcements along the way. I will say the community's been incredibly generous in terms of the support for this project. We've seen that through Muskoka Lumber and the announcement we made with them to provide overall naming rights and name the arena. But there's some more announcements to come, and we'll be excited to reveal those as time goes by as well.